Well, let's look at what is the overwhelming favorite offense of everyone in high school and college, the spread.
Right.
So a lot of these running backs have never lined up in a dot position and been asked to run downhill. And so when you get a Kareem Hunt, when you get Alvin Kamara and all these guys that are used to being offset or to the side or in shotgun running shotgun runs, they're more comfortable. And so I think it's the way of the game. The league is evolving where we have to kind of meet them halfway. And you're seeing the spread kind of migrate its way up to the National
So when you say we got to meet them halfway, are you saying instead of going all the way wide, we only got to make the hashes half as wide? Because I mean that's the reality of it. You know, I mean when you got the hashes that close, it's.
Here's Lamar throwing. By the way, he did not.
He did not.
Are they trying to put this on the?
This is supposed to be on the sideline. This is supposed to be out in
this
front
ball
on the sideline.
should be if 5-step drop, no hits, let it go. Ball's late. Yeah. He has to throw it before they even the ball has to be in flight.
Anticipation throw, and he's not.
And these are, to be honest, and this is every quarterback here has struggled with that.
Yeah.
Anticipation isn't a college throw. It's that a lot of guys don't anticipate throwing the ball, throwing the guy open, throwing them. That's not what they do in college. You either throw to spots, or whatever, you're throwing deep.
As I say, like you're around kids. This is a relay race. Like right now, they're in the exchange zone. The ball should be out. Run and go get it. This ball should be almost right on the sideline.
Is it up to a coach on the field to coach them up, or do they just have to do what they do here in this situation so scouts get a look at how they make their own adjustments?
Here's the reality. Scouts are looking, but scouts understand a lot of these guys haven't done this. If you find the guy who has done it, I would like to think that this should be something that Josh Allen should do very, very well.
Or not. I thought maybe Baker Mayfield. I mean, you're talking about 68% of the mentions in social media that would fire up. So
eventually moving the wires to
a lot of these shouldn't be any
big.
Explain it is.
Speed it is you just kind of put your outside foot in the ground at the designated mark, and you just kind of roll into it. Bigger guys should speed it because it's harder for big guys to stop and regenerate their speed. Quicker guys can do it either way because it doesn't matter as much for them.
I tell you this, I don't know about the off-the-field issues with Callaway, but right now he is looking smooth. He is going to get the ball. I mean, he's in and out of his breaks. He ran well.
So I do a summer series where I look at these guys and I just, I give just early 1 through 10. And I had him 1 ahead of Calvin Ridley after watching him this summer. I was blown away by him, and I was really looking forward to seeing him play. And obviously he never did. But the talent is there, and he's having a good workout. He ran well. We'll see how he jumps. But I would imagine now teams have to really go in and dig much harder.
No question.
On him now because he's looking very talented out.
And there's a lot of teams that need wide receivers.
Yeah.
So you take a chance on him, man, and you may have you may get you a guy here.
See that Simi Cobbs right there tried to break down Buckhead's exactly. And when I watch him on tape, I do not have much of a grade on him because he really struggles getting in and out. He runs into 4.6s. He's inconsistent catching the football. I mean, at some point it can't just be about size and winning contested catches in the red zone.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people, and if I'm a coach where we have an ability to get in the red zone a lot, let's say the Rams, who've been in the red zone, I think they were first in the red zone, but their red zone conversion percentage was down a lot. You want a guy like that because he's a bigger body. He can run the skinny post, catch it, and get hit. But that's where his specialty is going to be. It's not going to be out in the field running, comebacks and things like that.
Wide receiver 1 today, Marcel Aitman, is that guy. He has some unbelievable red zone catches. That's nice right there by David Grayson. But he has some unbelievable red zone catches. But I had a scout tell me, we were talking about it, he said, if you're drafting a guy based on just catching touchdowns in the red zone, he said, how do you think he's going to get on the field if he's not playing before he gets to the red zone?
Yeah, there's something to it.
I know there were some people that were excited I shouldn't say excited, but
go ahead,
intrigued by Luke Falk. He is having a rough day throwing the ball. I mean, he's the one that almost took off Maurice's head.
He did, and then he almost didn't have a day.
Yeah, I mean, and he
You know what I'm saying? You catch what I'm throwing over there?
I do. I just caught it.
Okay, good.
Unlike the poor receivers that got to try to catch passes from Luke Falk.
I would have told you he was after watching him when he was a sophomore, I thought dead solid lock second rounder with a chance to move up. Not only did he never get better, but I think the toll on Austin Allen and Luke Falk specifically, how many times those guys got sacked and hit. I don't think they're ever the same quarterbacks.
Well, heck, the guy basically played 8 college football seasons with the amount of passes he has to throw. I mean, I'm surprised he still has a shoulder.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the spread off. They throw the ball way too much, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do you think 70 attempts is too much?
All spreads aren't the same. That's the air raid system. That's Mike Leach trying to throw it every down. They don't know where to run
my
it.
guy.
That's your guy.
I put that pressure on him.
That's your guy.
I didn't see that one, though. Steve was in the way. Steve Smith was in the way.
We might have to give him a baseball glove.
Hey, slow down over there.
Oh, boy.
Slow down. The one thing I do like about this route, in football, this route is always open. So this is a timing route. You have a seam, you have a flat underneath it, and you're attacking that hook to curl defender. There you go. That's what you're looking for.
I actually think he throws this ball fairly well in games.
He is a guy that throws better on in-breaking throws than out-breaking throws. Anything that's outside the numbers, he doesn't necessarily throw that as well. He didn't throw it when I went to the North Carolina game. He struggled throwing the ball outside when I looked at the film. Anything that's outside consistently, it's not his best stuff. His stuff is inside the numbers in the collegiate game.
And let me tell you this, just watching him, it's all arm too. He has no legs into his throws.
Oh, no. That's
just all arm.
It's all whip.
Vic Flick.
Now here, you putting legs and
the
shoulders.
Guy, you might see him crow hop.
Yeah. That's okay, but it's just a difference. If you get a coach that teaches you to put your legs into it, that ball's going to come out.
That's
rolling.
So if defense is facing Lamar Jackson, are they supposed to pack the paint?
Yes.
Just pack the paint.
You're going to play cover zero.
Now, I'm going
to
say this. I'm going to run the risk of saying this and it becoming a Twitter quote, but if you think about how the Seattle Seahawks used to defend Colin Kaepernick, they would jam the middle of the field and force Cap to try and throw it outside.
Yep.
And the reason he would have a tougher time because it's a longer throw, it's contested, and you have to have more timing and anticipation. Or those teams would play zone and they would make them have to throw anticipatory throws into windows. And so that's what you have to do. A lot of times with dual threat quarterbacks or guys that aren't as polished as pocket guys, you make them have to throw into tight windows. So you don't play man, you play zone, and you dare them to fit into it because you're reading eyes of the quarterback.
The one thing that I'm scared of, though, and you say when you play that zone.
Oh, he takes off.
If he takes off, it's a wrap.
If he takes off, it's a problem.
And you have to have a spy. And so I know when you talk about Seattle, they had their corners inside. Everyone was inside the numbers, and they made it happen.
All right, as they reset the drill and move it, we'll step aside for a quick second, come back with more coverage here. It's NFL Now Live. At the 2018 NFL Scouting Combine, there's Josh Allen having a good day throwing the ball. More when we return here on NFL Now Live, presented by Verizon.
The day is finally here.
Baltimore. We are going to Canton.
The Baltimore Ravens versus the Chicago Bears. The NFL 2018 season kicks off in Canton Thursday, August 2nd.
Chicago, I'm going to Canton, and you're coming too.
And the greatest day in football, the celebration of football. The enshrinement ceremony, Saturday, August 4th.
I'm really going to Canton, and you should too.
You're watching Good Morning Football.
We've got celebrity guests one after the other.
Come here, man. Just throw me the damn ball, baby.
Carson Wentz, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Whoa! I see you score touchdowns again. That's the way it's supposed to be, baby. Hey.
What do you have to do to get a drink around here?
I'm a big fan of the show.
Love the show. Watch it all the time.
I stole a bunch of crap from y'all's dressing room.
Good morning, football!
Access. No access. Total access.
What a catch!
Catch? There's no catch. You want total 5-night-a-week, 32 NFL team insider access? Watch NFL Total Access. Weeknights live on NFL Network.
I don't know what it's like to lose everything I own. I don't know what it's like to serve and protect. I don't know what it's like to raise a family without a home. I don't know what it's like to walk in your shoes. But I do know what it means to care about people. And I do know that I can do my part and that we will do our part to ensure that our work outlives us.
Path
to the draft. All you need to know before your team's on the clock.
He gives them a guy that can put the offense on his back.
He's someone that's definitely moving up the list.
Path to the Draft. Season premiere Monday, March 19th, live on NFL Network.
He's got it. Wow. And wide open. It's Christian Kirk. He got loose. Touchdown A&M. Christian Kirk calls it in. A&M touchdown.
Off to the races. Wide open is Kirk for the touchdown.
Christian Kirk, one of the many wide receivers we've been watching here today in Indianapolis. So I want to see him run against another Texas A&M guy here in Mike Evans, Buccaneers wide receiver. We asked you guys earlier in the show to vote who you thought would run the faster 40 time at NFL Draft. And for the longest time, this was a total 50-50 split. But yeah, now Christian Kirk, he's got 51% of the vote. So let's just see if you guys are right. First, we're going to put up their measurables side by side. Mike Evans is clearly a lot bigger of a receiver. He's got the height, he's got the weight. Does he have the speed, though? Let's see. We're going to put them at the line. We're going to superimpose them next to each other. And, I mean, one thing they both have, they're both really jacked. And Christian Kirk, he ends up winning, and it's not by much, just by a little bit. You know what? It might be because of all of those liver-infused smoothies he drinks after his workouts. I know that sounds really gross, but hey, maybe it works. So Christian Kirk, he gets the win here. We'll follow him along as he finishes the rest of the day here, day 2 of combine drills. And now let's get you back to the rest of the drills.
Claps well during passing drills.
He does. He claps well during passing drills. We are now watching some deep balls getting thrown here. David Carr on the field along with Steve Smith, Michael Irvin.
It's funny, we went to break, I checked my phone, and David brought up Kurt Warner. I had a text message from Kurt, and he apparently agrees with what David and I are saying. He said, the dropbacks are way too slow. Guys are playing the drill. That's what I hate, guys aiming to get completions. And David, that's kind of what we just talked about.
Yeah, exactly right, man. Get back there as fast as you can. Then you got time. You got time to lay it in there where you want it.
You know what, guys? I don't. You know,
throw.
You know what, guys? I don't like.
What?
Who owe me a text message and text you on live television?
Oh man, he called you out, Kurt.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a duck right there, and there's the Lamar. Several times a game, that comes out of his hand, and you go, "Why is that? What's that?" And that's why some people around the league are saying, "Oh, he's a wide receiver." I think he's a quarterback, and I think it starts with what he does with his legs. But you can see with the drop, a lazy drop.
Yeah, just hasn't done it a lot. You can tell. He just doesn't feel comfortable there yet. But
that looked effortless and went about 50, 60 yards in the air.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step. There you go. There's a better throw.
Good throw. Yeah, you want to land this. We did. I mean, throughout the quarterback rooms that I've been in, you want it to be about 45 to 47 yards, 5-step with a hitch. It's funny how it works out throughout the years. It's about where the good ones land. So.
And about what, 6-7 yards inside the number, exactly the red line. Yep. I'm always interested to see how far the quarterbacks push away from the line of scrimmage with their 5.
Yeah, and it's just like what we've been talking about, especially with this one. Man, get back there quick, then get the ball up and out so these guys can go run and get it, and then you can throw it as high and as far as you want to.
Austin Allen.
Some of these flat. I mean, there's some good looking throws, but there's some flat ones also.
That was very flat, yeah, but right on target. Okay, here we go. I have no doubt he can throw this ball 80, 90 yards in his pro day. Not that it matters, right? But it's so easy. Look at that compared to the last. Now, that was underthrown.
Yeah.
Let's see if he rips this one.
You're just talking about the arc, the comparison of the arc of the football.
Yeah.
Run a track.
Oof. Yeah, that's incredible. And he's taking
that went from the 10-yard line to the 30, the opposite 30.
You know, and at some point, you lose the football as a DB too. So if you can, I know when Randy Moss was with the Vikings,
that went from the 10-yard line
to 4. He's showing off a little bit.
That was a little show off.
And I don't blame him.
I'm just checking the ceiling if anything got chipped.
I'm wondering if Darnold's over there going, man, I should have thrown.
I think that's the first time that I've ever heard a collective group of coaches say, ooh, I mean, that was everybody and the fans up top.
It's JT Barrett.
It's understandable. Now JT's got to follow that. Not fun.
Oh, man. We showed the XO of Josh Allen earlier, which is a 3 or 4 play sequence of what he did at Wyoming, and the arm strength is just absolutely ridiculous. Every scout, every coach I've talked to remarks on it, and I think what's important to note, David, is that just because you have a big arm, it doesn't guarantee any kind of success in the NFL.
No, I agree. And so what we were looking for mostly, because we all knew we could do this. I mean, it's cool to see in person.
Right.
But it's the stuff where, you know, the slants on time or the in routes on time, or is he throwing with the accuracy and timing. So, I mean, but he showed that. He showed the ability to do that. And then it's always nice to have that fastball in the tank in case you need it. So I talk to Derek all the time is, you know, he's like throwing on time and he pushes the anticipation, but man, it's sure nice to have that heater in the back pocket.
All right, let's put the drill in perspective. Michael?
Yeah, I think the best way to do this is to go back and kind of take a look at different quarterbacks when they were at the combine. Jared Goff, good feet, out of a spread. Look at him drop it in over. That's an outstanding.